It's 1980 and pinecone crafts are all the rage. And pinecone cookies, well, those are from today, and it's what's baking on this Christmas Eve in my time machine kitchen. Hey there everybody, I'm Scott, and a few weeks ago here on my channel, I taste tested this pinecone jam from Russia. And of course, as with everything, it made me think about the 80s. And I was like, am I nuts? But we were kind of obsessed with pine cones back in the day. So of course, to affirm that belief or reaffirm that belief, verify that belief, whatever, I did a Google. And the very first thing that popped up was PineconePretties by Mrs. Putter. I love thinking about Mrs. Putter because there's a Mr. Putter, sounds amazing. But this book, I want to share every single page of this book with you, and I am going to share quite a bit of it with you. But you know, I was like, not only did this book inspire me to make a craft, yes, we're going to make a craft, but it inspired me to take this pinecone jam and make some pinecone cookies. So we've got a book, a craft, and pinecone cookies. Welcome to this very special pinecone edition of my Time Machine Kitchen. These pinecone cookies are so simple, and if you've got a cookie swap coming up, or you kind of need something unusual for the neighbors, or even if you just want to make cookies during a snow day, pinecone cookies do the trick. The base of the cookie is just 2 cups of almond flour, a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of melted or softened butter, and 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. Work this into a dough, scoop out teaspoon-sized balls, and then roll them into some decorative sugar. I used the bottom of a glass to flatten them out a little bit. I also realized that if I pressed and flattened the balls into the sugar, then the sugar stuck a little bit better. But both techniques work just fine. Then you can add the magic, a little baby pine cone from our jar of pinecone jam. Just nestle these pine cones into the cookie, and I just love the way these look already. I know pinecone jam is a little unusual. You can't just pick it up at the grocery store, but you can order it on Amazon, and there are dozens and dozens of little baby pine cones in this one jar. So you can make Hanukkah cookies, Kwanzaa cookies, Christmas cookies, or cookies just on a cold winter's night. There is plenty to go around. Okay, let's put that aside, and now I think we should get back to PineconePretties from 1980. And let's just take a moment to admire that cover. We have a wreath, a tree, and a garland that stretches the entire fireplace, all made of pine cones. I mean, that is absolutely spectacular. And I know if you're not a Gen Xer, this looks so crazy to you. But trust me, this was like real decor back in the day. And you have to think, so back then you did not have the option of hitting up Target and Home Goods and Michael's, sometimes all on one night like I do, and have your option of like dozens and dozens of garlands that you might like. If you wanted something specific to your taste, chances are you were making it yourself. And I gotta say, if you have PineconePretties by Mrs. Putter from 1980, you have 21 options of things that you can make with the plentiful pine cone. While the cookies bake in a 350-degree oven for about 13 minutes, let's thumb through this masterpiece. Page 12, titled Fun and Fancy, is particularly enticing. We have a Signs of Autumn rake. Maybe this is something you hang on a door. Feathers appears to be a turkey that we could obviously use for Thanksgiving. And Calico Kate. I am just intrigued by Calico Kate. And then 'tis the season for Ring Around the Holly. It is crazy to think that 45 years ago, someone was selecting their favorite crafts out of this book, gathering pine cones, and then attempting to craft up a pinecone owl, or an angel, or garland, and thinking to themselves, I'm totally hosting the neighborhood holiday party this year so I can show everyone that I am a crafting god. These pinecone cookies are so pretty, and I guarantee you nobody else is gonna have these at the office party or at the Christmas party tonight. And I know for a fact Santa Claus has never had these before. And they're so simple to make. But of course the real test is, are they good? They are not overly sweet, which is such a nice change up from all the other holiday cookies and treats that we're eating this time of year. And that pine cone really does have a unique flavor. It's like, it's not artificial. It's kind of like breathing in when you're walking through like a bunch of pine trees. I don't know if that's the best description, but that's kind of the only way I can explain it. It's very delicious, and people will be talking about those cookies for days and days and days, and they're gonna want that recipe for sure. And you can say, oh, it's only a few ingredients, and it took like 15 minutes to make from the time we put the ingredients together and bake it. Duh. Anyways, back to the inspiration, PineconePretties. Let me just say, I am thumbing through this 24-page book, and I am still mesmerized. And yes, it has inspired me to make a Christmas Eve craft. I'm poking a little fun at PineconePretties today, but honestly, this book does take me back. When I was a kid during the holidays and all through the winter, my mom kept a big basket of pine cones in our family room. And anytime my brothers and sisters and I found a cool one while we were playing outside or riding our bikes, we'd bring it home and toss it into the basket, and just like that, we had holiday decor. So this isn't a pinecone garland or a fancy craft. It's actually a homemade all-natural fire starter that I pretty much make every winter. So I guess this 80s kid has still got a thing for pine cones. And I gotta say, between this project and these cookies, the fuzzies are officially taking over. Thank you for taking a trip back to 1980 with me today. Happy holidays, and remember, you are always welcome in my time machine kitchen.